as regular readers will know, this is not my first rodeo. I've been to the tank museum before, and after a few years I found out I was doing it the wrong way. They want you to go to the tank story, but I never do it that way. I always go to the First World War tanks first, then the tank story. So I'm doing the same thing again. So the bit we just scooted by is about recruiting and signing up and cannon fodder for the Empire. Then we go into a wee display of trenches. After you've gone around the trench, you can go and see what it was like for the guys in the trenches. So over here, we've got kind of reconstruction of a UK trench with a fake rat.
I see. This will be something to tell my grandchildren about. Bye then.
Then around the corner, we've got, oh, there used to be a German trench. What happened to the German trench? Ah, here we go. Right, German trench is around here. German trench is a bit better. And then you can start to hear some diesel engines. You come around this corner here, and there's the First World War tank, a Mark 1 just standing right there. So this guy behind me is a Mark 4 tank. Been in it a few times because they do wee tours of it, and it's a fairly unpleasant thing to be inside. Even just sitting here, it's not great, it's kind of cramped. The engine's right in the middle and you are the cooling system. It would probably be a lot worse than a war. The wooden holes in the top of it are for pulling it out of holes in the ground. Obviously after a Mark 4 tank, what would you get? You would get a Mark 5 tank, which is this guy here. So this is the Mark 5. As you can see, it's completely different from the Mark 4. Oh, wait, no, it's not. The better engine, and it had the semaphore signalling thing up on the roof here, so you could semaphore signal to people, because it was a bit more tricky to use wireless back then. That thing there's the anti-ditch, or the unditching beam, and you would just pull it around the top of your tank and it would hopefully pull you out of any ditches you were in. There were a lot of ditches around there at the time. There we go. Mark 5, obviously completely different from the Mark 4. You would never confuse one with the other. I know I certainly wouldn't. I can totally tell the difference between a Mark 4 and a Mark 5. Yeah, maybe not. So behind all these wains is a Mark 9, and it was more of an APC than a regular kind of a tank. It's a lot longer than the 4 and the 5, and you could put guys in it and take them to the front. Mark 8, international tank. Jointly designed by different countries, which is why it's called the International, made in different places, made in Springburn in the North Local factory, which I think is where this one was made, and North British Local, is now Tesco. So, Tesco factory, made tanks, not anymore. It's a bit longer than the ones before that, so we can cross the ditches a wee bit better, trenches a wee bit better, and made in Glasgow. This is a special Mark 5, and one of the special things about it is you can go into this one. Don't want to ham to A. There's a B and a C, there's no A. Something went wrong there somewhere. Don't bang your head on that bit. Keep all the shells in here. Around the other side of the engine. And there we go. Over here we've got the Matilda, which was the tank the UK had at the start of the Second World War. Second World War, different Second World War. And it's a bit rubbish. I mean, you could probably shoot people with it, but no point shooting other tanks. And the other side we got the Comet, which was what we had by 1945, which was a good deal better. So this sucker here is the Tiger II. Probably my favourite tank, because it's just so big and says, "Hey, I'm a Tiger!" Nice tank, difficult to make, you couldn't make enough of them, T-34s were probably more useful. There are some T-34s around here. I'll get some T-34s later. But I like the Tiger too because it's just so darn big and tanky and tigery. Yeah, Neil, just for you. It's 2 halves of a Centurion. And so you can see what was going on inside it. So your driver down there. Other guys up here inside the turret. Half an engine, half final drive. And then the other side, well actually no, the engine's there. So maybe that was a fuel tank on that side. So engine there, final drive, and another guy inside the turret. There you go. 2 halves of the Centurion. Behind me we've got Little Willie. No sniggering in the back there, which was the sort of first proof of concept of a tracked vehicle working. Took me a while to get it right, but eventually they did and they made this thing here. Never actually did anything, but it proved that tracks could be used for getting across difficult ground. And that was the whole point of Little Willie, which is the name of the tank behind me. They call this one Muller because it's another of all tanks, and as you can see this one also has another name. So this fine specimen of tank hood behind me is a Tiger 1. It's unusual because it actually goes, it's got an engine and everything. The Tiger 2 on the other side of the museum doesn't have an engine and doesn't go, it just sits there all the time. Well, they move it around occasionally, but mostly it just sits. This one works. So if you were looking for a tank, well, they probably won't sell you, but it was in a film with Brad Pitt a few years ago.